Hi. After a year and a handful of trips under my belt in my van, I'm going to talk today about things that I absolutely love and things that maybe I would do differently.
My bed setup. I considered many different options for my bed setup. I knew I wanted a fixed raised bed with enough room to sit upright. I also wanted it to be easily removable in case I needed to utilize the van cargo space for moving or hauling other stuff. This setup was easy to build and easy on the wallet. I ordered 3 IKEA Scorva support beams. The beams don't come with the brackets, but if you contact IKEA's customer service department, they will send them to you for free. I used the brackets to attach to the support beam on the sides of the van. Then I attached 1/4-inch strips of birch plywood for slats, using strong Velcro to keep them in place. I got a 6-inch green tea memory foam mattress, full size, and I used an electric knife to trim the length to fit. Seems like it was about 4 or 5 inches too long. It's super comfortable. I got a wool blanket, a heated throw, and this comforter. I love it. I did do a separate video on my bed about 8 months ago, if you're interested. Another thing that I like that is an organization strategy was to hang hooks on the wooden beam that my bed brackets are hung on. I have a different backpack for different things, like I have one for rock hunting stuff, and I have this satchel right here is for tools. This is a little waterproof bucket, and this has camera stuff in it. I did the same thing on the other side. I have my camp chair, a backpack with Mojo stuff, and eventually maybe I'll put some matching hooks that all look a little nicer. I just happen to have those in the garage, so I use them. But see, this opens up a lot of garage space. Another thing I'm really happy with is my sink setup. I chose to do something simple, and I got this copper sink off Facebook Marketplace. Here it shows all the nasty patina. Some people like that look. I like the shiny look, and I will clip a picture of it there. I need to clean it. It's too cold right now. But here's the little faucet that's really handy. It's USB charged, so I don't have any cords going everywhere, and I will secure it better with some museum putty. I had a different one and it quit working, so this is a new one that I just got. I have my dad's neckties in front until I get cabinet doors on here, but again, I have a real simple setup. I didn't want anything complicated. I have one jug for gray water and one for fresh water, and I deliberately left the back of the cabinet open because I want to access the jugs from the outside. It'll be much easier to carry a 6-gallon jug of water, fresh or gray, by just reaching in here instead of having to bring it from the inside. So that was intentional. I love this idea too. This is a repurposed shelving unit from an ambulance. My son had an ambulance that he converted into a van a few years ago. Sold it, but we kept this cabinet, and I love having it in the van. Reminds me of the ambulance. I did take one trip in that, so a little trip down memory lane. But these are solid, and they're not as big as probably if we would have made them from scratch, but they're solid. The latches are great. I love them. Now, my cabinets aren't completely done yet, but they're done enough, and I love them. My son built them for me, and I really like the drawers. They're in there nice and tight. They'll be easier to open once I get drawer pulls on there. And still missing one drawer over there to the right, and then He'll put cabinet doors on the bottom and fronts, I think, on front of the doors. But it's nice space to have. And the refrigerator is built on a shelf, and underneath the refrigerator is where my EcoFlow battery goes, and it's on a slide-out tray. It's not in there now because it's too cold to leave it in the van, so I brought it in the house. Overall, I'm very happy with the design, the color, the warm tone of the butcher block countertop. It was a win. Okay, should I have added a window either over my bed or at the back or the side? Sometimes I wish I had a window, but I do like the privacy, and then the thermal advantage of not having windows is good too. So it's a toss-up. I maybe would want to redesign and have a table of some sort. Although I sit on my little step stool here and use the countertop. It's pretty much the right height. And I find myself sitting here more than I even do on the swivel seat. I do have a aluminum foldable table. I just store it under my bed when I'm not using it. But it opens up, and even though it's slatted, it provides a nice surface, and it's the right height for this stool. So I'll just sit here with this table in front of me, and it works okay. When I'm done, I fold it up and put it back under the bed. I also have this little fold-out table for on my bed, and this is the side of the sink, and I've thought about putting a drop-down table there that I can access from the swivel seat. I don't know, it seems too far away, and it seems like the height wouldn't be right. I may experiment with that later. Now for this mess. My son had a leftover roll of Reflectix, so I just tried to make some window covers, and I put the little silver tape around it, but it's all fallen off, and they're flimsy and awkward. So I'm hoping Santa Claus brings me some new ones. We'll see. But definitely worth an upgrade. These are tough to get them to stick into the window. It's a little easier when the weather's warmer, I think. They're a little more pliable, but I just want to have some magnetic ones that I can just pop up there. Now this is something I will be working on, cord management. I have the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max, and I love it, and this tray slides out, but there's ports in the front and the back and the side, and I feel like I have cords everywhere. I think what I probably need to do is just get a power strip and put it on top of the cabinet or mount it to the wall or whatever, and just get everything up off the floor.
Hi again. I realize now it's the next day, and I only put 4 things that maybe I would change yesterday. So the 5th thing, I guess I'm going to have to say that I put a trailer hitch on my van, and I'm not so sure I really needed it. I thought I would need it for my e-bike. Nothing too exciting, it's just a trailer hitch. I thought I would need it for my e-bike, but what has worked out better, my e-bike's pretty big and it's too tall to fit under my bed, but what I can do is I put a board on my sliding door and I just use it like a ramp, and I can bring the bike up and put the bike between my 2 cabinets, and then I just bungee it so it's tight, and that's worked out well. I've only taken the bike on 1 trip because when I have Mojo with, I don't find that I really use my bike much. So that's that. Those are the 5 things that I love about my build, 5 things that maybe I would do differently. And you know, I don't live in the van, I just travel in it, and this 2nd year will give me a better idea of what's working and what's not. I'll do another video soon about maybe just some things that I like, not necessarily related to the build, but more about gadgets or whatever that I've picked up that it's like, oh, I'm sure glad I got this. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. I am open to any comments or suggestions. What do you think? Would you put a window in? Those of you that have windows, are you glad you have windows? Do you wish you didn't? That's probably my that and the table situation is probably, those are probably the two that I'm like, would I have done that differently? Anyway, love to know your comments. Thanks. Bye.